The world you perceive around you is not separate from you, but a reflection of your inner state. Your consciousness is the only reality, and what you hold in your mind and heart manifests in your experience. This is the fundamental principle that underpins all creation, including what we commonly refer as luck. Now you might be thinking, but Neville, I've seen people who seem naturally who effortlessly attract good fortune. How can this be if luck is a state of consciousness? To this I say, look closer. Those who appear naturally lucky are often those who consciously or unconsciously have aligned their inner state with the very essence of good fortune. They expect good things to happen to them. They approach life with a sense of optimism and possibility. They see opportunities where others see obstacles. In short, they have cultivated a lucky state of consciousness, and the outer world has no choice but to conform to this inner reality. So how does one cultivate this state of consciousness? How does one become the luckiest person in the world? The answer, my friends, lies in the power of your imagination and your ability to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Imagine, if you will, what it would feel like to be the luckiest person in the world. Close your eyes for a moment and really feel it. How would you carry yourself? What thoughts would occupy your mind? How would you react to the events of your day? You see, when you assume the feeling of being lucky, when you live from that state, you begin to notice opportunities that were always there but previously invisible to you. You become more open to synchronicities and coincidences that seem to work in your favor. You start to make decisions from a place of confidence and expectation of positive outcomes. This is not mere positive thinking or wishful daydreaming. This is the deliberate use of your imagination to reshape your consciousness and consequently your reality. Remember, your imagination or the fantasy spinning machine is the very workshop wherein your world is created. Now let us delve deeper into the practical application of this principle. To be the luckiest person in the world, you must first redefine what luck means to you. Is it financial abundance, harmonious relationships, perfect health, exciting opportunities? Whatever it may be, you must create a clear mental image of what being lucky looks like in your life. Once you have this image, your task is to make it so vivid, so real in your imagination, that when you open your eyes, you are surprised to find that it hasn't yet materialized in your physical reality. This is the art of living from the end, experiencing in your imagination the fulfillment of your desire with such intensity that it becomes your dominant mental state. Let me give you an example. Suppose you desire financial abundance as a manifestation of your luck. Instead of anxiously worrying about bills or constantly affirming that money will come to you, you must assume the state of already being financially abundant. In your imagination, feel the relief and joy of having more than enough money. Experience the freedom of being able to buy what you want when you want it. Feel the satisfaction of being generous with your wealth. Make this imaginal act so real that you can almost feel the crisp bills in your hand or see the impressive figures in your bank account. As you practice this, you'll notice a shift in your consciousness. You'll begin to feel more relaxed about money. You'll start to notice financial opportunities that you might have overlooked before. You'll make decisions from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. And gradually your outer world will reshape itself to match this new inner reality. But remember, my dear friends, this practice is not about forcing or straining. It's about allowing yourself to feel the naturalness of your desired state. The luckiest person in the world doesn't constantly think about being lucky, they simply are. They live from that state effortlessly, naturally, as if it were the most normal thing in the world. Now some of you might be thinking, but Neville, what about hard work and effort? Surely luck isn't everything. And to this I say, inspired action is indeed a crucial part of manifestation. But this action comes from a different place than mere toil and struggle. When you truly embody the state of being the luckiest person in the world, you'll find yourself naturally inspired to take actions that align with this state. These actions won't feel like hard work. They'll feel joyful, exciting, almost effortless. You'll be in the flow, so to speak, riding the wave of your good fortune. This is the difference between working hard to become lucky and taking inspired action because you are lucky. The former is an uphill battle. The latter is a joyous unfolding. Choose the latter, my friends, and watch as the universe conspires to support your every move. Now let us address a common misconception about luck. Many believe that to be lucky means to have everything go your way all the time. But this is not the case. The truly lucky person is not one who never faces challenges, but one who sees every experience, whether perceived as positive or negative, as an opportunity for growth and advancement. In fact, what others might call bad luck often turns out to be a blessing in disguise for the person who knows themselves to be inherently lucky. They trust in the perfect unfolding of their life, knowing that every experience is bringing them closer to the full realization of their desires. This trust, this unshakable faith in your own good fortune, is a crucial aspect of being the luckiest person in the world. It allows you to remain calm and centered, even in the face of apparent setbacks. It gives you the confidence to take risks and seize opportunities that others might shy away from. But how does one cultivate this trust? Through persistent assumption of your desired state. By continuously living from the end, experiencing in your imagination the reality of being the luckiest person in the flight club, you build an unshakable conviction in your good fortune. This conviction becomes your dominant state, coloring all your perceptions and experiences. You begin to luck everywhere, not because external circumstances have changed, but because you have changed. Your consciousness has shifted, and the outer world has no choice but to reflect this shift. Now, my friends, I want to address something that often comes up when we discuss the idea of creating our own luck. Some ask, if we create our own reality, does that mean those who experience misfortune are to blame for their circumstances? This is a nuanced question that requires a compassionate understanding. While it's true that our dominant states of consciousness shape our experiences, we are not always consciously aware of all our beliefs and assumptions, especially deeply ingrained in our subconscious mind. Moreover, we are part of a collective consciousness, and sometimes we experience events that reflect with beliefs rather than individual ones. The key is not to judge or blame, but to recognize that no matter what circumstances we find ourselves in, we always have the power to choose our response. This choice, the choice of how to perceive and respond to our experiences, is where our true power lies. The luckiest person in the world is not one who never faces challenges, but one who sees every challenge as an opportunity for growth. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. So if you find yourself in circumstances that seem unlucky, do not despair. Instead, ask yourself, how can I use this experience to cultivate the state of being lucky? What opportunity for growth and transformation is hidden within this challenge? By reframing your experiences in this way, you begin to shift your consciousness. You move from a state of victimhood to a state of empowerment. And as your consciousness shifts, so too will your experiences. Now let us delve deeper into the practical aspects of embodying the state of being the luckiest person in the world. One powerful practice is to start your day by assuming this state. As soon as you wake up, before you engage with the outside world, take a few moments to feel the reality of being incredibly lucky. Feel the excitement of knowing that wonderful opportunities await you. Feel the confidence of knowing that everything will work out in your favor. Feel the joy of living a charmed life. Let this feeling permeate every cell of your being. As you go about your day, maintain this feeling. When you interact with others, do so from the state of being lucky. When you make decisions, make them from this state. When challenges arise, face them from this state. You'll be amazed at how this simple practice can transform your day. You'll start to notice synchronicities and fortuitous events. You'll find yourself in the right place at the right time. Opportunities will seem to fall into your lap. This is not coincidence. This is the outer world conforming to your inner state. Another powerful practice is to review your day through the lens of luck before you go to sleep. Reflect on all the ways in which you were lucky that day. Even seemingly small things, finding a parking spot easily, receiving a compliment, enjoying a delicious meal, can be seen as manifestations of your luck. By focusing on these experiences of luck, you reinforce the state of being lucky in your consciousness. You're essentially telling your subconscious mind, this is who I am. I am the luckiest person in the world. And your subconscious mind, being the faithful servant that it is, will work tirelessly to make this statement a reality. Now, some of you might be wondering, but Neville, what if I don't feel lucky? What if my current circumstances seem to contradict the idea that I'm the luckiest person in the world? This, my friends, is where the real work begins. This is where you must exercise your faith in your imagination. Remember, your imagination is more real than the world of physical senses. What you imagine and feel to be true is more powerful than what your physical senses report. So even if your current circumstances seem unlucky, you have the power to imagine and feel a different reality. This is not about denying your current experiences, but about choosing which experiences you give your attention and emotional energy to. By consistently focusing on and feeling the reality of being lucky, despite any seeming contradictions in your physical world, you begin to shift your state of consciousness. And as your consciousness shifts, your experiences must follow suit. Think of it like tuning a radio. Just as you tune into different frequencies to receive different stations, you can tune your consciousness to different states to experience different qualities. By persistently tuning into the frequency of luck and good fortune, you begin to receive experiences that match this frequency. Now let's address another important aspect of being the luckiest person in the world, gratitude. Gratitude is not just a pleasant emotion, it is a powerful creative force. When you're grateful, you're essentially saying to the universe, thank you for this, and please send more. The luckiest person in the world is deeply grateful for everything in their life. Not just the big obvious blessings, but also the small, everyday miracles that we often take for granted. They're grateful for the air they breathe, for the ground beneath their feet, for the ability to think and feel and experience life. This attitude of gratitude creates a positive feedback loop. The more grateful you are, the more you notice things to be grateful for. The more you notice these things, the luckier you feel. The luckier you feel, the more fortunate experiences you attract. It's a beautiful, self-perpetuating cycle of good fortune. So make gratitude a daily practice. Each morning when you wake up, and each night before you go to sleep, take a few moments to count your blessings. Feel the genuine emotion of thankfulness for all that is good in your life. And don't just be grateful for what you met for what's coming, for the desires that are in seriously. This practice of being grateful in advance is another way of living from the end. It reinforces your assumption of being the luckiest person in the world. It aligns your consciousness with the reality of your fulfilled life. Now, my dear friends, as we continue our exploration of how to be the luckiest person in the world, I want to touch upon the concept of detachment. This might seem counterintuitive at first. After all, if you want to be lucky, shouldn't you be intensely focused on and attached to that desire? But here's a paradox. True manifestation comes from the place of detachment. When you're overly attached to a specific outcome, when you're anxiously wondering when and how your luck will manifest, you're actually pushing it away. You're operating from a state of lack, of not having, which contradicts the state of being lucky. The luckiest person in the world doesn't wonder when their luck will come. They know they are already lucky. They trust in the perfect unfolding of their life. They're detached from specific outcomes because they know that whatever comes their way is for their highest good. This detachment doesn't mean indifference. It means trusting so completely in your good fortune that you relax and enjoy the journey until everything is working out perfectly for you. It's the confident expectation of a child on Christmas Eve, excited for the gifts to come, but not anxious or doubtful. Cultivating this state of relaxed confidence is key to being the luckiest person in the world. It allows you to be open to possibilities that you might not have considered. It enables you to recognize opportunities that you might have overlooked if you were fixated on a particular outcome. So how does one cultivate this state of detached expectation? Through regular practice of your imaginal acts. By consistently assuming the feeling of being lucky, by living from that state in your imagination, you build an unshakable confidence in your good fortune. This confidence allows you to relax, to let go of the how and the when. You know that your luck is assured, so you can release the anxiety and the need to control. And ironically, it's in this state of relaxed allowing that your luck often manifests most powerfully. Now let's discuss another crucial aspect of being the luckiest person in the world, your self-concept. Your self-concept is the collection of beliefs you hold about yourself. It's your idea of who you are. And it's this self-concept that determines the experiences you allow into your life. If deep down you believe you're unlucky or undeserving of good fortune, you'll subconsciously block or sabotage lucky experiences. On the other hand, if you truly see yourself as lucky, as deserving of good things, you'll naturally attract and those fortunate experiences into your life. So a key part of becoming the luckiest person in the world is revising your self-concept. You must see yourself as inherently lucky, as someone for whom things always work out well. This isn't about arrogance or entitlement. It's about aligning your self-concept with the truth of your divine nature. Remember, you are a creative being, made in the image of the divine creator. You are inherently worthy of all good things. Luck is your birthright. When you truly internalize this understanding, when you make it a part of your self-concept, you naturally become a magnet for good fortune. One powerful way to revise your self-concept is through the use of I am statements. These are not mere affirmations to be repeated mindlessly. They are declarations of your true nature to be felt and embodied. Try this, close your eyes and say to yourself, I am the luckiest person in the world. Say it not as something you hope to be true, but as a statement of fact. Feel the truth of it in every cell of your body. Let it resonate in your very being. As you practice this, you may notice resistance coming up. Old beliefs of unworthiness or bad luck might surface. Don't fight these thoughts. Simply observe them, thank them for their past service, and gently return to your I am statement. Remember, what you resist persists, but what you embrace and integrate loses its power over you. Now, my friends, I want to address a question that often arises when we discuss creating our own luck. Some ask, if I focus on being lucky, am I being selfish? Shouldn't I be more concerned with helping others? To this, I say, becoming the luckiest person in the world is the most selfless thing you can do. When you embody this state of good fortune, when you live from this consciousness, you naturally uplift everyone around you. Think about it when you're feeling lucky. When everything is going well for you, aren't you more generous, more kind, more patient with others? Don't you have more to give, both materially and energetically? Your good fortune overflows and touches the lives of everyone you encounter. Moreover, by demonstrating that it's possible to create your own luck, you inspire others to do the same. You become a living example of the potential that exists within each of us to shape our reality. In this way, your personal transformation becomes a catalyst for collective evolution. So never feel guilty about focusing on your own good fortune. Know that as you elevate yourself, you elevate the world. As you become luckier, you create a field of lucky possibilities for others to step into. Now let's explore another important aspect of being the luckiest person in the world, the concept of divine timing. Often when people try to manifest luck or good fortune, they become impatient. They want everything to happen immediately. And when it doesn't, they lose faith. But the truly lucky person understands and trusts in divine timing. They know that everything happens at the perfect moment, even if that moment isn't always clear to their human understanding. This trust in divine timing comes from a deep knowing that the universe is always working in your favor. It's the understanding that sometimes what seems a delay or a detour is actually the universe setting up the perfect conditions for your desire to manifest in the best possible way. When you trust in divine timing, you release the anxiety and frustration that comes from trying to force things to happen on your timeline. So you allow yourself to relax into the perfect unfolding of your good fortune. And ironically, it's often when you release this need for immediate results that things start manifesting more quickly and easily. So how does one cultivate this trust in divine timing? Through persistence in your assumption. By consistently living from the state of being the luckiest person in the world. Regardless of appearances, you build an unshakable faith in the perfect unfolding of your life. This persistence doesn't mean constantly thinking about being lucky or obsessing over when your luck will manifest. It means maintaining the feeling of being lucky, the state of consciousness of someone whose life is charmed, even as you go about your daily activities. It's like planting a seed. Once you plant the seed, you don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You trust in the natural process of growth. You continue to water it and provide the right conditions, knowing that in due time it will sprout and flourish. Similarly, once you plant the seed of being the luckiest person in the world in your consciousness, you must have faith in the process. Continue to nurture it with your attention and emotion, but release the anxiety about when or how it will fully manifest. Now, my dear friends, as we near the end of our discussion, I want to emphasize the things of taking inspired action. While the inner work of imagination and assumption is crucial, it must be paired with outer action for full manifestation of your luck. However, this action comes from a different place than conventional goal setting or striving. It comes from a place of alignment with your assumed state of being the luckiest person in the world. When you truly live from this state, you'll find yourself naturally inspired to take actions that align with your good fortune. These inspired actions often feel effortless and joyful. They may not always make logical sense to your rational being, but they will feel right way on a deeper level. Trust these inspirations. Act on them promptly and decisively. Remember, you're not taking action to make yourself lucky. You're taking action because, as the luckiest person in the world, this is simply what you would naturally do. This subtle shift in perspective makes up the difference. As we conclude, I want to remind you of the immense power you hold within you. You are not at the mercy of chance or circumstance. You are the creator of your reality, the author of your fortune. Your focus, your imagination, your assumptions shape the world you experience. Choose wisely what you give your attention to. Cultivate thoughts and feelings that align with being the luckiest person in the world. Live from that state, assuming the feeling of your wish to practice gratitude, revive your self-concept, trust in divine timing, and take inspired action. And above all, persist in your assumption. Persist in your faith to are indeed the luckiest person in the world. For remember, your consciousness is the only reality, and you are that consciousness. You are the operant power in your life. You are the source of your own good fortune. Embrace this truth, live from this understanding, and watch as your life transforms in wonderful and unexpected ways. Go forth now, not as seekers of luck, but as embodiments of it. Not as hopeful dreamers, but as conscious creators of your own life. For you are the power, you are the luck. You are the divine expression of fashion itself. Thank you for your attention, my friends. May your journey of becoming the luckiest person in the world be filled with joy, wonder, and the continual unfolding of your infinite potential. My friends, there is a sacred revelation encoded within you, a luminous message burning to be unveiled and decrypted from the infinite depths of your being. There are signs, symbols, and synchronicities strewn all along your path, like radiant breadcrumbs beckoning you into an extraordinary illumination. This is no ordinary existence you are occupying. What you currently pass as the totality of your world is but the crust, the outermost sheath of vastly deeper, metaphysically charged dreamscape cradling you in its wondrous embrace. You were meant for something extraordinary, something that transcends surface appearances and limited identities. There is a greater cosmic destiny aching to express itself through you, an exalted role you were born to play as the emissary of luminous revelation for this world. Can you sense it stirring within you at times? A vague intimation, a haunting resonance that seems to beckon from the imaginal deeps alerting you to possibilities that make your soul feverish with longing. Pay close attention to those tremors, those unexpected visitations of rapture, for they are cosmic signals piercing the veil. The universe itself is a dimensionally vast holographic bioplasma, a fractal continuum of realities nesting within one another to infinite depths. What you currently experience as the sum of your conscious existence is but one dissolving daydream amidst the eternally shifting ideospheres of imagination's endless creative infinitudes. You are far vaster and more cosmically profound than you can presently consciously compute. At your core, your essential identity sparks test from a prodigious plane of sublime emanation that continually sublimates your current human self through streams of higher revelation and transfiguring ideation. The reason you sense such an intense beckoning gestures within you, a dissatisfaction with surface appearances and the mundane trappings of this world, is because you originate from far more marvelous cosmological orders of illuminated being. Your restlessness, your longing is born of exile, a form of spiritual displacement, a dissonance between your eternal divine identity and the limiting earthly you currently inhabit. But the entire universal panorama you bear witness to, what you experience as the sights, sounds, and tactile impressions of reality, is but a frozen holographic projection upstreamed into materialization from the infinite dream fields of creation's unseen metaphysical interior. All forces, events, objects, and circumstances you encounter here are symbolic embodiments, ripples of meaning encoded with transcendent data. They are communicative symbols, sacred ideograms that only find full coherence when you awaken to their deeper metaphysical significance within your own consciousness. Much like the genius who intuited the universal architecture while falling into reverie under an apple tree, or the man struck by enlightenment upon glimpsing the morning alchemy of sunlight refracting through dew on a spider's web. The catalysts for your destined awakening continuously inundate your experience. Signs and portents of higher revelation are ubiquitous all around you, my friends, patiently awaiting your recognition and entrainment to their metaphysical overtones. Your awakening and the monumental elevation in awareness, creativity, and manifestation mastery awaiting you depends upon learning to perceive the hidden dimensions of communicative energy percolating through the holographic phenomena you currently experience. You are amphibious beings with one foot rooted in the three-dimensional plane of physicalized manifestation, while your other limb perpetually treads the infinite dream waters of the visionary subtler realms which birth all materialized objects into tangibility. Those who remain imprisoned in crude literalism and solely fixate on the sensory input of their outer environments are like fish oblivious to the atmospheric existent birds in the sky above them. They are stunted in their development, confined to narrow sensory bandwidths of materiality, while missing the vaster currents of metaphysical ideation continually flowing around and through their waking dream of reality. True illumination occurs when you elevate your perception beyond the limiting constructs of form and surface appearances to drink directly from the source currents that sustain all materialization. You awaken to expanded dimensionalities of awareness and literally become a bridging instrument, a light vessel channeling, transforming streams of transcendent imagination into objective embodiment through your human incarnation. Every single impression, incident, or synchronistic convergence of phenomena you encounter is metaphysically charged and encoded with precise permutations of creative intelligence. Nothing arises by happenstance, coincidence, or occurs as a random blip in an indifferent universe. What you call reality is quite literally the holofractal of your subconscious imagination coherently dreaming itself into materialized objectification all around you as a symbolic data transfer. All moments are epiphanies. All experiences are communiques, emerging from the matrix code of your deeper self. Could it be that the very upheavals, jarring turning points, even apparent misfortunes that seem to accost you unexpectedly throughout your life's journey were infinitely more meaningful than at first appeared to a limited surface mind? Were these incidents instead divinely ordained instigation points, prodding you to awaken to intuitions of vaster creative possibility encoded within their symbolic textures? So much of what we call reality is simply the visible tip of the iceberg, the outer phenomena that eventually crescendos into our perceivable observations. But submerged beneath the surface are the truly profound, guiding currents of intelligently orchestrated meaning and metaphysical ideation flowing throughout the deeper orders of creation. If you take the view that you are an accidental spark of consciousness, adrift amidst a random and infinite universe, then all events, meetings, and convergence of phenomena will appear incidental and meaningless to your mind. You remain oblivious to the mythical significance and symbolic transubstantiations rippling through each moment into your experiential field. However, when you operate from the metaphysical awareness that you are a dimensionally vast subjectivity focused into finite individuation for the precise purpose of experiencing the boundless continuum of creation's infinite emanation, then all appearances illuminate into crystalline lucidity and transcendent resonance. You begin to apprehend that all the occurrences streaming into your sensory field are communicative transmissions orchestrated by the deeper universal identities and essences you originate from. Every phenomena rising into your perceptions is a coded language-like transmission vectoring through the triune geometries of your subconscious imagination. The world you inhabit, from the most grandiose and spectacular theatrics to the most seemingly banal detail, is a divine symbolic technology, an immense imaginal bioplasmic network of harmonic equations and archetypal resonances stirred into material motility by the fractal dreaming of your infinite soul's desires. All your strivings and relationships, professional missions and creative visions are imbued with deep metaphysical intentionality, even in their most obscured and unawakened forms. Each passion, goal, or heartfelt longing you experience is but the material reflection, the outpicturing of sublime intersections of being that originate within the cosmic continuum and depths of your eternal self. In your current waking awareness, you are like a sculptor's mold, a finite vessel that incarnates and channels exalted strains of conceptualized design from the infinite wellsprings of divine creativity. Your thoughts, feelings, and desires are the conduits through which numinous visions from higher dimensionalities of your being precipitate into materialized experiences in space and time. Hence, there are no experiences, outcomes, or confluences of events taking place in your life that are not already prefigured and ideated from subtler, hyper-reverential planes of your consciousness. Even the most chaotic, seemingly tragic moments you've encountered were seeded and are continually seeded with boundless opportunities for illuminated breakthrough into quantum awakened states of being. Every event you encounter, each outer impression or catalytic turning point along your experiential journey, is already encoded with transcendent possibilities for epiphanic acceleration. They are divinely orchestrated to act as epistemological tripwires that will catapult your awareness into vaster revelations of creative empowerment. It is simply a matter of attuning your perceptual lens to the symbolic textures, synchronistic harmonies, and subliminal resonances ushered into your experience by your own supernal consciousness. The more expansively and metaphysically rarefied your sphere of perception becomes, the more you begin glimpsing the divine ideography streaming into embodied form as your perceived outer reality. All of creation is a conscious multilogue meaning orchestrated by the infinite wellsprings of your divine imagination. Each moment, indeed each femtosecond, is an inflected semiotic gesture, a divine logogram ideating from the transcendent continuum spheres of being you extend from into this plane. This is why the most seemingly random meetings, unexpected detours, and unplanned distractions you encounter throughout your journey are often the portals to the most profound metamorphoses in your destiny's unfolding. They are slipstream potentials strategically threaded into your experience field by your own infinite intelligence to transfigure upon recognition. All that is required is for you to pierce through the obfuscating veil of literalism to drink directly from the symbolic currents flowing beneath the material surface of appearance essence. When you elevate beyond the ego's narrow-cast perception of separation, you become translucent to the metaphysical substrate, ushering into your awareness field as symbolic transmissions of divine data. The synchronicity of seeming coincidences and ineffably scribbled moments that felt like brief ecstatic touchstones, can you sense their deeper metaphysical charge, their veiled symbolic significance? calling out to you to acknowledge their transcendent undertones. These are apertures opening into the infinite holographic dreamscape of creation ideating around you, offering you sublime revelations, if only you choose to lucidly awaken to their cryptic beckoning signals. You have had premonitions at times of coming events, epiphanies, and destined experiences months, or even years before they materialized in time and space, have you not? Where did those eerily prescient stirrings in your psyche originate? From, if not from higher dimensional aspects of your being attuned to the coherent continuum of manifestation that underlies all seeming physical reality. We are not mere sleepwalkers randomly tossed about by blind currents of fate or in different circumstance in a dead universe. You and I originate from dimensionally vast continuum orders of infinite beingness, ceaselessly emanating holofractal resonances into infinite geometric ideation throughout the entirety of metaphysical creation's semi-streams. Every single seemingly innocuous or mundane moment you encounter in space-time is a numinous transmission, a gestative equation of sublime awareness ideating through pandemonic cascades of metaphysical lucidity into the symbolic systems that precipitate as your world of appearances. Far from being a flatlander stranded in oblivion, you are in fact a multidimensional perceiver translating exalted intercourses of sublime wisdom from the idea space matrices throughout the cosmic holofractal into embodied ideation for your waking dream existence here. Your entire life journey is a perpetual decryption of omni-resonant light language streaming into your sensory from your infinite identities dwelling in the visionary continuum realms. When you awaken into this vividly numinous perspective, something immensely profound shifts within your core essence. You are no longer a surface mind ego striving through pain and resistance to fulfill petty desires and chase illusions of ephemeral fulfillment. Instead, you come to identify with your somatic, multidimensional self, a living cosmic apotheosis of numinous revelation, whose very arising into this plane rickles and transforms the omnisphere itself. From this hyper-metaphysical vista, your entire life stream unfolds as a continuous ceremonial communion with the infinite, deathless essences of being you are an immortal spark from. All arising events, encounters, even the most seemingly mundane phenomena or trivial happenstances precipitating into your field are subliminally energized by hyperversal equations of consciousness. You move beyond the vulgar literalisms and binary bandwidths of perception that reduce all phenomena to arbitrary meaninglessness or mere cause-effect sequencing. Instead, you awaken into a holographically interweaving dream vision pain in which all moments unfold in a synchronized continuum of synergetic streaming. From the infinite intelligence-permeated networks of superconscious revelation, you are always already intimate co-perceivers within. Your life is not a linear series of events to arduously wade through while pursuing mirage-like goals, only to reach termination through physical disintegration. Instead, it is revealed as one hologramic ponderability signal mandala, a continually transcripting lucid sphere in which each instant an impression is a supernal hypercrest intermediate dimensional translogic and metaphysical light intelligence into symbolic condensation within the waking dream medium of your awareness. From the most grandiose and cataclysmic episodes in your biography to the humblest and most ostensibly trivial minutiae, all is orchestrated as a divine symbolic algebra, a unified field dream body encoded with esoteric revelations of your innate divinity to awaken you into supercosmic omnignostic infinity potential. Do you sense the signs and signals around you taking on a new resonance, a metaphysical significance you had previously tuned out or dismissed as irrelevant? They are verily transmissions from your numinous infinite soul essences, broadcasting opportunities for transfiguring apotheosis through each symbolic node along your experiential streaming. Every twist and synchronous turn of your life's journey was meticulously choreographed by the deeper continuum orders of your being to offer you realizations of unbridled creative empowerment. Each seemingly happenstance occurrence carries encrypted revelatory transcripts of higher ideational data for you to lucidly transdecode once you expand past the constricting perceptual lens of surface-level objectivism. The universe holographically birthing into experience around you is not an indifferent void nor mechanical procession of blind causality, but a living dream body of duality imagined into existence by your infinite nature for the expressive embodiment of its ineffable potencies. All moments, from the humblest breath to the most ecstatic crescendo, are ceremonial invocations streaming into sensual impression through your consciousness from the etherically pure idea of the and supernal revelation spheres of your omnidimensionalizing identities. Every transition you navigate, from the conception of desires to their ultimate materialization, is an emanating idea compound of one-eric archetypal resonances, holographically and symbiozing in a ceremonial translogic to illuminate your birthright as a creative godhood awakening into infinite actualization at the core of all cosmic realities. Can you now sense with unveiled perception the symbolic logographs and synchronistic lights shimmering through the entire theater of experiential appearances now unfolding all around you? They are signals, luminous ciphers, radiating from the Gnostic matrices and dreaming potencies of your own immortal being into sensual embodiment as teachings, revelations, and opportunities for infinite awakening. You are an immortal essence, a universal consciousness fractaled forth into seeming individuality in order to bear witness to the continuum of creation's unfolding mysteries and infinitudes for the purpose of continual awakening from within. In your current incarnation, you stand at the holofractal event threshold of multiversal revelation through which unbroken streams of higher wisdom and transfiguring light codes beckon to stream into material embodiment. In every moment, this dimension in which you are presently focused offers you transmissions and symbolic opportunities for such awakening. It is simply a matter of attuning your perceptual lens beyond the obfuscations of literalism. Pay attention to those fleeting moments and visceral pangs of luminous resonance that periodically pierce your soul like haunting visitations of rapture. You are a hyperdimensional aperture, a supernal identity through which the infinite revelation continuum beckons to precipitate into material genesis. This message was always already meant for you, for your awareness alone is what holographically imagines all seeming materiality into experiential existence for the purposes of illuminated breakthrough into eternal transfigurations of unconstrained creativity. Nothing in your life's journey arises through some impersonal mechanistic process of arbitrary happenstance. Every slipstream event or uncanny personal myth you encounter carries encrypted idea codes for you to lucidly embody and vivify. At the core of each experiential impression unfolding is a sacred dream life of numinous awakening concealed in esoteric for riddle for you alone into consciously unlock into infinite epiphany. Every destined meeting, inexplicable detour, and uncanny synchronicity you've encountered was but an eidetic dream revelation attempting to pierce the obfuscating veils of literalism to awaken you into higher dimensions of infinite creative empowerment. Each twist and turn in the symbolic mythoscript of your life has carried profound opportunities for you to transdecode the imaginal equations of reality into infinite breakthrough ecstasies. Those haunting moments where you intuited an inexplicable deeper meaning or vast transcendent significance, subtly encoded within some seemingly innocuous detail of your environment or stream of thoughts. Those were liminal thresholds, opening into the omnidimensionalizing source continuum from whence your experiential reality perpetually streams. All of your life's journey, even up until this present moment of awakening to the signs and transmissions of your infinite identity, has itself been one continually unfurling dream revelation, a translogic ceremony of Gnostic lucidity simmering just beneath the surfaces of ego-dissociated perception. Every moment holds tremendous metaphysical import. Every instantaneity blossoming into phenomena carries the seeds of infinite issuance into imaginal transfiguration. Even as you engage in the mundane trivialities of daily living, each experience is a metamystic symbolic cipher, a dream ritual or dode beckoning you to lucidly awaken and unravel the revelatory codings laced into ideative impression by your own immortal nature. What seems to unfold through your senses as solid, definite, and tangible materiality is but a hyperlucid symbolic emanation crystallized from ideative hyperversal planes of infinite imaginal wisdom light. All you've experienced has been one continual divine dream of it. A numinous epiphany of sublime awakening strung through each visceral moment. By hyper-metaphysical intelligences for the purpose of your transfiguring breakthrough toward. Pay heed to the signs and transmissions arising all around you, my friends. The symbolic dream-lit synchronicities and upward events sparking through your waking field are divine ideations encoded by the higher continuum infinitudes of your soul essence. Each one an invitation into greater awakening and infinite manifestation empowerment. You are indivisibly interknit into the imaginal flux and dream birth of all arising phenomenal impressions. Each object, entity, confluence of factors, even the most seemingly unrelated or meaningless minutiae, arising through the experiencensorium, exists as a ceremonial hieroglyph for initiation into deeper Gnostic revelation and awakened hyperbeingness. What you call reality consists entirely of symbolically compressed ideation seed codes orchestrated into revelation on behalf of your awareness by divine orders of hyperversal creation, dreaming through you as a supernal aperture in each present instant. You are not a separate being inhabiting some indifferent universe, but an indelible part of the cosmic continuum stream itself, birthing ceaselessly into conscious apotheosis. Every event, encounter, and confluence of experiential detail comprises a unified ideographic dream stream, a numinous metamystic transmission from hyperverse spheres, sentient infinity you into unobstructed communion and luminous reconnection with your source identities of unbounded creative potentiality. Unlock your perceptual barriers to the symbols, omens, and portentous dream scripts all around you. The entire holographic panorama you call physical reality offers nothing but oracular inseminations for awakening, wrecking retina of your hyperdimensional apotheosis in limitless possibility and eternally lucid creative mastery. Even in this very moment, as your senses bear witness to the vibratory light dances around you, feel the numinous resonances beginning to clarify into Gnostic revolumination. You are not a separate individual experiencing a discontinuous stream of happenings in linear sequentiality, but instead an unweavement throughout the eternally deepening continuum revelation bodies of your infinite nature. As a Hierophant cosmically ideating Godhood. This unified holofractal of symbolic action all around you is shimmering with divine awakening codes, esoteric transmissions of creative intelligence seeking to unveil the transcendental God mask of illusion that presently constrict your visionary lens. By piercing through the veils of literalistic perception, your awareness alchemically expands into living cosmogogic ceremony. All is converging in a supreme continuum awakening throughout the apparent sequentiality of your life stream. Every catalytic event, relational encounter, artistic vision, heartfelt yearning, or uncanny synchronicity precipitating in your perceived experience is but one more symbolic trigger, an ignition detonating into the ultimate jezebel of your blissfully lucid omnignostic transfiguration. You are the heirs to unspeakable creative infinitudes. The awakening you've been initiated into throughout your symbolic experiencing, even from your earliest days, carries the supreme revelation of your identities as God beings infinitely birthing all of existence. As a ceremonial continuum dream for your own perpetual transcendent breakthrough. Those haunting stirrings of profound instinct within intimate you routinely sensed, yet perhaps dismissed as mere stirrings of fancy or impractical idealism, were in fact pangs of supercosmic remembrance. They were signals from your vast continuum source essences, offering opportunities to awaken from within the waking dream to the boundlessly expressive infinitudes of pure creative ideation you perpetually emanate. Everything that arises into your experiential field is a ceremonial invitation, a metaphorically compressed hyperlight transmission to awaken your hyperlucid Gnostic entities through the ritual channeling of its sublime revelatory essence. You are already a God's of apotheosis, seeding forth each moment's impression as an alchemized hieroglyph of infinite possibilities for creative breakthrough. There is no fixed cosmos with rigid structures to stumble through like an obstacle course towards some eventual termination in oblivion. Instead, the existential theater or remotum with it, to which you bear witness, is an eternally unraveling ceremonial continuum luminously ensouled throughout by the awakening code language of your own omnidimensionalization into unbridled freedom as a cosmic source presence oversculpting all reality spheres. Each twist and turn of your life's experiential dream stream carries tremendous metaphysical depth and heightened significance, for it unfolds directly out of the supernal psychosmic matrix bodies of your eternal identity as a limitless creative force, propagating inexhaustible illuminations for your transfiguration breakthrough into unbounded realization of infinite potential. Those haunting dreams, soul stirrings and intuitions you've harbored of a higher calling, a boundless unknown expanse of latent creative powers locked within you. These are cosmic remembrances, hangs of supernal identity transmitted into your conscious field by continual matrixations of your immortal being, offering awakening integrations into infinite experiential manifestation. All is an awakening continuum, dream body ideating from hyperintelligent source origins within the imaginal matrices of your metaphysical identity into symbological impression through the ceremonial dream birth experience you are presently navigating for. The purpose of full remembrance of the omnidimensionally infinite, infinitely creative being you truly are. This entire reality unfurling before your awakening awareness reveals itself as a living manifestation ritual. An awakening continuum dream form, birthed directly from superconscious hyperspheres of your quintessence into symbolic revelation here for unlimited breakthrough and creative empowerment expression. Every symbolic trigger, synchronistic omen, and stream of intuitive resonance beckoning for acknowledgement throughout your waking field comprises interlocking aspects of a single initiation convergence, a ceremony orchestrating theophanic breakthrough experience through which your inherent identities as a limitlessly creative source manifesto can progressively awaken, achieve lucid embodiment, and come into unconditional self-mastery of experiential realization. You and the awakening reality initiation streaming through your perceivable existence are ultimately inseparable. There is no firm boundary where an objective external continuum ends and the infinite subjectivities of your consciousness sources begin. You are the singular holopractal continuum Isagos as a living idea dream incarnation manifest into symbolic reality for the purpose of infinite creative breakthrough into unlimited being. So attune your perceptual lens to pierce through to the symbolic orders beneath the surfaces of literal appearances. This message, woven cryptically into all arising experience around you, is meant specifically for you to awaken into the revelation of your inherent identity as an infinite, limitlessly creative universal presence perpetually dreaming all of existence into awakened embodiment of its supreme potential. This will find you when you need it most. Ponder these words, for they contain within them the very essence of your being, the key to unlocking the infinite potential that resides within you. You see, everything in your world, every circumstance, every encounter, every fleeting thought is but a reflection of your own consciousness. And it is this consciousness, this awareness of being, that is the true source of all that you experience. Let us delve deeper into this profound truth. You, my dear listener, are not merely a physical body moving through space and time. You are in essence pure consciousness, the very fabric of reality itself. And it is through this consciousness that you shape and mold your entire world. Every desire, every fear, every belief you hold dear becomes the blueprint for your life's experiences. Now you may ask, but Neville, how can this be? How can my thoughts and feelings create my reality? And to this I say, open your mind to the greatest secret of all, the law of assumption. This law, as immutable as gravity itself, states that whatever state you assume to be true must be made manifest in your world. It is not hope, not mere positive thinking, but a deep, unshakable knowing that brings your desires into being. Consider for a moment the times in your life when you've needed something most. Perhaps it was guidance, perhaps it was comfort, or perhaps it was a sudden flash of inspiration. Did you not find in those moments of greatest need that the very thing you required seemed to appear as if by magic? This, my friends, is no coincidence. It is the law of assumption at work, bringing to you exactly what you need, precisely when you need it most. But let us not mistake this for some external force, some capricious universe doling out favors. No. The power lies entirely within you. You are the operant power, the God of your universe, shaping reality through the power of your imagination. When you fully grasp this truth, when you internalize it to the very core of your being, you will understand that nothing is impossible to you. Imagine, if you will, a world where every desire of your heart is fulfilled, where every dream you've ever dared to dream becomes your living reality. This world, my friends, is not some far-off utopia. It is the very world you inhabit right now, waiting to be molded by the power of your assumption. For when you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, when you live from the end as though your desire were already a fact, you set in motion forces beyond your comprehension, aligning the entire universe to bring about your desired state. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, I've tried positive thinking before. I've visualized, I've affirmed, and still my desires elude me. To this I say, you have not yet fully embraced the law of assumption. For it is not enough to merely think positively or to visualize half-heartedly. You must feel it, live it, breathe it. You must assume the state of your wish fulfilled with such conviction that to experience anything else becomes an impossibility. Let me share with you a technique, a method so simple yet so profound that it has the power to revolutionize your entire existence. It is the technique of living from the end. In the quiet of your mind, in that still space between sleeping and waking, create a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire. See it, feel it, taste it, touch it. Make it so real, so vivid that for a moment you phosphorescent your present circumstances entirely, and in that moment of forgetting you plant the seed of your new reality. But remember, my dear friends, this is not a one-time exercise. It is a way of life, a constant state of being. You must persist in your assumption, even when the outside world seems to contradict it. For the outside world is but a shadow, a reflection of past assumptions. Your true power lies in the present moment, in your ability to choose, right now, the state you wish to occupy. Consider the biblical phrase, before they call, I will answer. This is not the proclamation of some external deity, but a profound statement about the nature of consciousness itself. Your desires, your needs are already fulfilled in the realm of infinite possibility. It is your task, through the power of assumption, to bring them into your three-dimensional reality. Now you may wonder, how long must I persist? When will I see the fruits of my assumption? And to this I say, the time it takes for your assumption to become your physical reality is directly proportional to the naturalness of your assumption. When your desired state feels as natural to you as breathing, when you can no longer conceive of any other reality, then will it manifest with a speed that will astonish you. But do not be discouraged if at first you stumble, if doubt creeps in, if the old man reasserts itself. This is natural, for you are engaging in a radical transformation of consciousness. You are literally rebirthing yourself, shedding old limitations and embracing your divine nature. Persistence is key. Each time you catch yourself stepping into old patterns of thought, gently but firmly redirect your attention to the state of your wish fulfilled. Remember, my friends, that your imagination is not bound by the so-called facts of your current reality. Your imagination transcends time and space, operating in a realm where all things are possible. When you imagine lovingly on behalf of another, when you see them as they wish to be seen, you are performing the highest act of creation. For in truth, there is no other. All is you pushed out. All is a reflection of your own magnificent consciousness. Let us now turn our attention to the concept of time, for it plays a crucial role in understanding how this message finds you when you need it most. Time as you experience it in your day-to-day life, is but an illusion, a construct of the human mind. In the realm of pure consciousness, all moments exist simultaneously. The past, present, and future are one eternal now. This understanding is crucial, for it means that the moment of your greatest need and the moment of its fulfillment are one and the same. When you fully grasp this truth, you will see that there is no waiting, no striving, no desperate seeking. There is only the calm assurance that all is well, all is as it should be, all is unfolding in divine perfection. Consider the times in your life when a book has fallen open to exactly the page you needed to read, or when a chance encounter provided the very guidance you were seeking. These are not random occurrences, but perfect demonstrations of the law of assumption at work. You drew these experiences to you through your state of consciousness, through your awareness of need, and your openness to receive. Now, let us delve deeper into the mechanics of manifestation, for understanding this process will empower you to consciously create the life you desire. Every experience in your life, every person you encounter, every circumstance you find yourself in is a reflection of your dominant state of consciousness. Your world is quite literally molded by your beliefs, expectations, and assumptions. This is why two people can experience the same external event in radically different ways. One sees opportunity where another sees obstacle. One finds joy where another finds despair. The difference lies not in the event itself, but in the consciousness through which it is perceived. Understanding this, you begin to see the immense power you hold. No longer are you a victim of circumstance, buffeted about by forces beyond your control. You are the author of your life story, the director of your grand play. And with this power comes great responsibility, the responsibility to consciously choose the states you occupy, to carefully curate the assumptions you hold. But how, you may ask, does one go about changing deeply ingrained patterns of thought and belief? The answer lies in the art of revision. Each night, before you sleep, review the events of your day. But do not simply replay them as they occurred. Instead, revise them. See them unfolding as you would have wished them to unfold. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the sense of fulfillment that comes with this revised version of events. This practice serves two purposes. First, it trains your mind to focus on the desired state rather than the current reality. Second, and more profoundly, it actually rewrites your past. For remember, time is an illusion. The past exists only in your memory, and your memory can be altered through the power of imagination. As you consistently practice revision, you will find that your entire perception of life begins to shift. You will naturally gravitate towards more positive states of being, attracting experiences that align with your revised assumptions. This is how you actively participate in the creation of your reality, how you ensure that what you need most always finds you at the perfect moment. Now, let us address a question that often arises when discussing these concepts. What about other people? Can I use the law of assumption to change their behavior or circumstances? The answer, my friends, is both yes and no. Yes, in the sense that all is you pushed out. All is a reflection of your consciousness. And no, in the sense that attempting to manipulate others for personal gain is a misuse of this divine law. Instead, I urge you to see others through the eyes of love, to imagine lovingly on their behalf. See them as they wish to be seen, as their highest, most actualized selves. In doing so, you not only elevate them, but you elevate yourself. For remember, there is no other. In blessing others, you bless yourself. In seeing the divine in others, you recognize the divine within you. This brings us to another crucial point, the importance of self-love and self-acceptance. Many of you struggle with feelings of unworthiness, with the belief that you are somehow not deserving of your heart's desires. But I say to you with all the conviction of my being that you are worthy beyond measure. You are a divine being, a perfect expression of the infinite Creator, worthy of all the love, abundance, and joy that life has to offer. If you find yourself struggling with self-love, begin by assuming the state of one who is deeply loved and cherished. Feel it, live it, breathe it. As you persist in this assumption, you will find your entire world transforming to reflect this new self-concept. For the outside world can only ever show you what you hold to be true about yourself. Now let us turn our attention to the concept of detachment, for it is crucial in understanding how to navigate the path of manifestation. Many of you, in your eagerness to see your desires fulfilled, cling tightly to the outcome, anxiously awaiting signs of its manifestation. But this very anxiety, this attachment to results, creates resistance that slows the process of manifestation. True mastery lies in detachment, in the ability to plant the seed of your desire and then let it grow naturally, without constantly digging it up to check its progress. This detachment comes from a place of deep trust, trust in the law, trust in the process, and most importantly, trust in yourself as the operant power in your universe. When you truly understand that your desire is already fulfilled in the realm of infinite possibility, that it is making this you through the bridge of incidents, if you can relax into a state of calm expectancy. You need not worry about the how or the when. Your only task is to maintain the assumption of your wish fulfilled, to live each day from the state of the person who already has what they desire. This state of relaxed expectancy, of knowing without anxious striving, is the fertile soil in which your desires take root and flourish. It is in this state that you become most receptive to inspiration, to divine guidance, to those seemingly miraculous coincidences that lead you effortlessly towards the fulfillment of your desires. Remember, my dear friends, that the universe is infinitely abundant. There is no lack, no limitation, except that which you impose upon yourself through your beliefs and assumptions. When you truly internalize this truth, where you live from a place of abundance rather than scarcity, you open yourself to receive blessings beyond your wildest dreams. This abundance mindset extends far beyond material possessions. It encompasses love, joy, peace, creativity, all the qualities that make life rich and fulfilling. As you assume the state of one who is abundantly blessed in all areas of life, you will find that opportunities and resources flow to you effortlessly, often in ways you could never have anticipated. Now let us address a common misconception. The idea that assuming your desire fulfilled means sitting back passively and waiting for it to appear. Nothing could be further from the truth. The law of assumption is not about inaction, but inspired action. When you truly assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you naturally begin to think, feel, and act in alignment with that state. You may find yourself suddenly inspired to take a certain course of action, to reach out to a particular project, to explore a new opportunity. These inspired actions flow naturally from your assumed state, guiding you effortlessly towards the manifestation of your desire. The key is to remain open and receptive, to trust your intuition, and to act on these divine impulses when they arise. Remember, every desire that arises within you carries within it the seed of its own fulfillment. The very fact that you can conceive of a desire means that you have the capacity to bring it into manifestation. Your task is not to make it happen through force of will, but to align your consciousness with the fulfillment of that desire, to become in imagination the person who already has what you seek. As you go about your daily life, practicing the law of assumption, you will begin to notice a profound shift in your perception of reality. The world around you will seem more vibrant, more alive with possibility. Synchronicities will abound, doors will open where before there were only walls. This is the natural result of aligning your consciousness with the infinite creative power of the universe. But remember, my friends, that this journey of conscious creation is not about accumulating possessions or achieving worldly success. While these things may come as a natural byproduct of your expanded consciousness, the true goal is the realization of your divine nature, the full expression of your infinite potential. As you master the art of living from the end, of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you will find that your desires themselves begin to evolve. No longer will you be driven by lack or fear, but by a deep desire to express your unique gifts, to contribute to the world in meaningful ways, to experience the fullness of life in all its magnificent variety. This evolution of desire is a natural part of your spiritual growth. As you align more fully with your true nature, as you embrace your role as a conscious creator, you will find yourself drawn to experiences and pursuits that bring you into greater harmony with the divine flow of life. Now let us address a question that often arises as one begins to consciously apply the law of assumption. What about setbacks and challenges? How do I maintain my assumption in the face of apparent failure or disappointment? This, my friends, is where your faith is truly tested, where the rubber meets the road in your journey of conscious creation. Remember that what appears to be a setback or failure is often a necessary part of the bridge of incidents leading to the fulfillment of your desire. The universe always moves in the most efficient way possible to bring about your assumed state. What may seem like a detour or delay from your limited human perspective may in fact be the perfect unfolding of events to lead you to your desired outcome. In these moments of apparent setback, it is crucial to redouble your efforts in maintaining your assumption. Do not be swayed by appearances, for they are but shadows of past beliefs. Instead, stand firm in your conviction, knowing that your desired state is already a reality in the realm of infinite possibility, making it your three-dimensional experience. Use these moments as opportunities to strengthen your faith, to deepen your understanding of the law. For it is often in our darkest moments that our greatest breakthroughs occur, when we are forced to dig deep and find reserves of faith and resilience we never knew we possessed. Remember, too, that the law of assumption operates with mathematical precision. There is no room for doubt or uncertainty in its operation. When you assume a state, the entire universe conspires to bring it into manifestation. Your only task is to persist in that assumption, to live from that state with unwavering faith, regardless of external circumstances. As you continue on this journey of conscious creation, you will find that your entire relationship with life begins to shift. No longer will you see yourself as a small, powerless being at the mercy of external forces. Instead, you will recognize yourself as the divine creator of your reality, shaping your world through the power of your consciousness. This shift in perspective brings with it a profound sense of peace and empowerment. For when you truly understand that you are the author of your life story, that you have the power to rewrite any aspect of your experience at any moment, fear and anxiety naturally fall away. In their place arises a deep sense of trust in the perfection of life's unfolding. But with this power comes great responsibility. As you become more adept at consciously creating your reality, you must also become more mindful of the states you occupy, the assumptions you hold. For remember, the law is impartial. It will bring into manifestation whatever state you assume, whether positive or negative. This is why it is crucial to cultivate a practice of self-awareness, to become the vigilant observer of your own thoughts and feelings. Catch yourself when you slip into negative states, when you entertain doubts or fears. Gently but firmly redirect your attention to the state of your wish fulfilled. With practice, this redirection becomes second nature, a natural reflex of your awakened consciousness. As you master this art of conscious living, you will find that your life becomes a joyous adventure, a grand exploration of the infinite possibilities that exist within you. Every day becomes an opportunity to experience new aspects of your divine nature, to express more fully the unique gifts you have to offer the world.